Hello. Today, in order to be successful 8th period, you need to have a whiteboard and your focus in your study guide. A friendly reminder that on Tuesday, we have no school Monday. On Tuesday, you have 11 through 20 vocab, you have a lecture, and then Wednesday, you have a test. So, I do think this content this week is a little rough. Can we agree? It's a little dry. Yes? It is not particularly exciting, I'm aware. It's hard to stand up here and be excited about it if that makes you feel better. And as you can see, my excitement to start content is not high. So, but we are going to get through a bunch of stuff today and make your life better in the long run. So, on your whiteboard, ladies and gentlemen, please tell me, what is it called if you are motivated by interior forces? Like, for instance, I'm a very independent person. So, everything I decide to do has to be towards that goal. What is it, Claire? Intrinsic. My husband is motivated by money. He wants nice things. Because of that, he sells his soul every day at work so he can have that nice paycheck. What is it, Kern? Extrinsic. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is an approach to motivation that assumes people are governed by instincts similar to those of animals? It's a pretty negative view of humans because they make them seem like we're... Samuel, stop. Do not get her riled. What is it, Bernstein? Instinct approach, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, what is it? It's a psychological tension and physical arousal rising when there's a need that motivates the organism to act in order to fulfill that need. So the fact that you're hungry and you'll walk to the kitchen to find food. What is it, Sadie? Drive. What is it called when a behavior arises from physiological needs that cause internal drives to push the organism to satisfy that need? So, you know, like for instance, McCrae had a really a tough childhood where he was very poor. So he worked very hard in high school, very hard in college, so he could get a good job so he never had to worry about money, which is why he's an accountant. What do we got? Nathan? Drive reduction theory. That's exactly how I feel. On your whiteboard, food, sex, water are considered what type of drives? Good. Where are they, Sophia? Primary drives. On your whiteboard, give me an example of a secondary drive that's not money. There you go. Good. Social approval is a good one. Clothes is a good one. Attention. Okay, all of those would score. Money obviously is also one. We get that, right? I just didn't want everyone to draw a money sign because you're lazy. On your whiteboard, what is it called when your body is in perfect harmony? You're not too hot, you're not too cold, you're not hungry, but you're not full. You're in perfect contention. Carol Lee. Thank you. See, it's important. Aren't boards fun? Mm-hmm. On your whiteboard, there are 3 types of needs that every person in this room has to satisfy. What are those 3 needs? Every single person in this room has to satisfy it in some way. What are those 3 needs? Maggie? Need for achievement, need for affiliation, and need for power. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is the name of the theory that believes that people are said to have an optimal or best or ideal level of tension that they seek to maintain? That each of us has a different level of stress that makes us more effective. Like my stress is probably higher than most of your average stress because I function better with stress. What do you got, Zoe? Arousal theory. Huh? You didn't get arousal theory? We need to explain it? Okay, we'll do it now. Okay, so arousal. So we talk about stimulus motive? Or we just get to approach it? Needs.
Yeah, we wrote it down.
Alright, so we talked about the need for achievement, affiliation, and power. We all feel comfortable with these, yes? Okay, so then we have stimulus motive, which you may or may not have written down, which is fine. Stimulus motive is a motive that appears to be unlearned but can increase stimulation such as curiosity. These are things that naturally arise in like little kids. Okay, stimulus motive are things that we experience that naturally triggered. Okay, like for instance, little kids ask the question, why? 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 Why all the time? That's a stimulus motive. Then we have arousal theory. Arousal theory is a theory of motivation in which people are said to have optimal or best or ideal levels of tension that they seek to maintain by increasing or decreasing stimulation. Who here is a procrastinator? Raise your hand. Of course you are, Potter. He is the official captain of the procrastination team. That would be Mr. Potter over here. What's your middle name, Potter?
Thomas.
Thomas. Sean. I couldn't think of your first name for a second.
Sounds weird when you say that.
Literally couldn't think of your first name for a second. But I got it. Alright, so with arousal theory, okay, Potter is incredibly dramatic. He waits to the end for everything. No matter how many times.
Not dramatic.
It is dramatic. There's always drama and you finishing up. Remember, you and your bro over here finishing 6th period, I believe is the period you do your AP Psych homework.
I mean...
You're not arguing, thank you. So the fact that you show up on Wednesdays knowing everything is due in 8th period and you show up to 6th period, well, I guess I should start my outline, is what I assume the conversation starts like. That's dramatic.
Alright. I'm not going to argue.
The fact that you're like, will I finish, will I not, that is dramatic. So, he enjoys lots of stress in his life in small bursts. He does nothing all week, and then Wednesday, 6th period, is the day he's going to crank it out. That is the arousal is short, intense bursts. Okay? I cannot function like that. I'm a planner. Who else is a planner? That's my girl. Okay? We like having a continuous amount of stress. Every single day you have a certain thing you need to do, and that allows you to be successful. And then the rest of you fall somewhere towards one direction or not. Yes? Okay. Then we have Yerkes-Dodson law. Oh my God, it's a law. What does it mean if something is a law, Curran? There you go. It's scientifically proven. There's only 5 all year, and here's your, I think, 3rd law. It's Yerkes-Dodson. It is a law that states performance is related to arousal. Moderate levels of arousal lead to better performance than levels of arousal that are too high or too low. Every single person has been in a high stress situation where you cracked. Can we agree? That you just broke down. I'm not saying like you couldn't accomplish whatever it asked for, but like you had a lot going on and you just found yourself in a corner of your room crying, and then you rallied and finished. Yes? Diana, they're lying, but they all have to. Okay? They're all like trying to be like, no, I've never had that. Bullshit. They have. Okay? Yerkes-Dodson says that if you have a continuous amount of stress or a moderate level of stress, you'll be more successful. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I have a test every single week in my class. Do you get stressed out of my tests? No, because you have them every week. You know they're not going to break your grade, right? Every single one of you have done terrible on a test, right? And you're still surviving, okay? With that being said, it's a moderate level. It holds you accountable, yes? So you do your work, and you need to do pretty well on them, but it doesn't stress you out. That's Yerkes-Dodson law. Moderate levels of stress. Because if I didn't test you except for every 4 weeks, what would you be doing? Nothing for 3 weeks. And then the week of your test, what would you be doing? Cramming it all in, and how successful is that? It's not. It's not successful. Maggie, what do you got, girl? Okay. And then you have idiots who are sensation seekers. These are people who like roller coasters. And no. No. I get really nauseous. Who cares?
You live in Tampa.
Oh, I don't care.
Have you ever been?
Yes, I'm not. Hello. Yes. I've been on roller coasters and I get super nauseous and then I'm sick.
Are you the type of person who likes the small world?
No, I hate Disney, so no, I don't go there.
I drive it real quick.
I've been on it once and I got super nauseous and never again. Yeah, no. I hate all of them.
Right now, with roller coasters.
Anyone else hate roller coasters and get super nauseous? Thank you. Okay, thank you. Who, raise your hand if you love roller coasters and you would ride? I hate every single one of them. So sensation seekers, are you people willing to like jump out of a plane and off like a platform of a bridge and all that shit too?
That's a stretch.
I'm going to
Idiots.
Like way too high, but like a bridge into like a water. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
People die doing that too.
If someone
Yeah, but
would
break the
Yeah,
bridge.
check the tides.
check that.
Moving water
You don't want to jump all the time.
I'm aware. I know these things. I just, enjoy my face where it's located and don't need it somewhere else. Have you ever seen someone who broke their face because they jumped into like off a bridge? Well, up the skyway, you're gonna
It's a
die.
little different.
Well,
though.
yeah.
Like roller coasters and skydiving.
I want to do cliff diving.
One's like controlled. What's the one
Cliff
where they
diving.
tie your feet together? Cliff diving? Yeah.
But you won't jump out of. We're moving
You're
on.
going into water.
Sensation seekers are idiots. But if it makes you happy, it makes you happy. Are you a sensation seeker?
You've never
Ugh.
seen that. I wouldn't rather.
I just get so nauseous. It just ruins the whole day.
I know.
No.
Huh?
You plan. So like if you go on roller coaster, I'll show you after, then you go on like a game or something.
Tie your
then
feet
you go on-
together. What is
Like you tie it together.
See, food is too important.
Oh, I'm seeing like.
All right, here we go. So incentives are things that attract or lure people into action. Okay, every single person in this room has a specific incentive that could attract you to do something. Right now, cupcakes. My husband surprised me, and he sent his intern, because he has interns, his underlings, as he calls them, to Wrights yesterday to buy a cupcake for me. So this morning, in my lunch, I had a cute little note for Valentine's Day and a cupcake. And if you know McCrae, which you don't, but he is like a super health nut person and thinks parfaits are too indulgent, like yogurt parfaits are too indulgent. So the idea of getting a cupcake for his wife is just was so touching. The man thought of someone other, because I've gotten parfaits before. Yes. They're not that good. He thinks they're wonderful. I don't get it. He's too healthy for me. It's disgusting. But I got a little cupcake this morning and it was delicious. And yes, I did eat it by 8:05. So incentives. Incentive approach is a theory of motivation in which behavior is explained as a response to the external stimulus. So you make decisions based on, is this going to benefit me? Okay, so incentive is is this going to help me or hurt me? Anyone make decisions based on this? It's a pretty common decision-making tool. It's pretty effective. But people are willing to do, I would say McCrae is definitely an incentive person. Like McCrae plays credit cards against each other. Like he'll take out a credit card for like, for instance, like Southwest points, and he'll charge a bunch of stuff to it. I mean, not like he's an idiot, like he plays the game. But like he'll charge like groceries on a Southwest card to get the points to buy airplane tickets and stuff like that. Like he's all about like the little bonuses and bumps and stuff like that. He is definitely an incentive person. And then we have expectancy value theory, which is an incentive theory that assumes the actions of humans cannot be predicted fully or understood without understanding the beliefs, values, and importance that each person attaches. So essentially, an expectancy value application box, the more you know someone, the more you can predict that person. So that's what expectancy value theory is. The more you know someone, the more likely you are to predict. Do you think that's true? I don't know. I was so surprised McCrae planned something for Valentine's Day. I was over the moon. And my alarm went off at 4:51 this morning, and McCrae was like, "Don't worry, I'm taking the dog." That was the most romantic thing I've ever heard in my entire life. McCrae got out of bed immediately and took the dog to the dog park, and then came home from the gym and had my favorite coffee. I was already perfect. This was a wonderful Valentine's Day. The man was thoughtful this morning. And then I got a cupcake?
So you like it?
Valentine's Day has been perfect. However, tonight for dinner, it's my year to pay for Valentine's Day. So tonight we're doing Fresh Market. We're not going out for dinner because I'm not an idiot. If you don't have a reservation for dinner, don't go anywhere tonight. You know it's gonna be a nightmare. Yes. So, are any of you going out to dinner tonight? Where are you going? You got a reservation? Ooh, where are you going? Ooh, fun. Are you gonna get the carrot cake? Oh my god, I'm such a fat kid.
No.
You're not? You have to. Have you had their carrot cake? And you just don't like carrot cake? I respect that. What do you get there?
The Rattlesnake pasta. It's like Sundays, like veggie.
Okay. I've only been there once. I'm not a huge
I
fan.
go to like every 2 weeks.
Really? That's awesome. All right. What do you need, Claire? Now, if you had to guess,
If I'm over to start with a dog,
Huh?
I'm working tonight. I said if I'm over to start with a dog, so we're gonna get an ice cream place
Same.
that's like owned by Burns, and so I go.
oh, do you work at the one across at the Epicurean?
Yeah.
Very cool.
I feel like because people are you can't get into Burns. So
Yeah.
they're telling us they would come to our place.
Well, of course, it's delicious. The macadamia nut ice cream, girl. I'm not
Yeah, I
fool.
know. And I can tell you, I can spit off facts about it.
I love the macadamia nut ice cream.
You went
It's my absolute
all
favorite.
of South Tampa.
Well, I didn't say it was special. I'm just saying. I had it one year for Christmas.
And we also do lines.
Oh, I know. All right, here we go. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. By the way, I've already taught you this once. We did it. It's a massive triangle. Yes, we did it during development. Yes, the 3rd week of development. Yeah, I'm so glad. You do know your test on May 12th is a cumulative, right? Thank God. So, Maslow's hierarchy of needs means you have to satisfy the bottom need, then you can move to the next need, and as you go up, okay? And at the very top, it's self-actualization, which is the point very, 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 very few people reach. That means they've met their full human potential. I'm going to tell you right now, your girl has not met her full human potential. This is not me. These are people who help other people reach their full potential. So Oprah would be a good one. You know, she does those Oprah like workshops and stuff like that and goes around the country and stuff. Yes. Who else would be someone who helps people help themselves?
Like a bodhisattva.
Who?
A bodhisattva. Like the person that like in the Buddhism who like.
Oh
reaches their
yeah.
best and, like,
Yeah. Say it again.
A bodhisattva.
There you go. Hell yeah, that's a good one. What else?
Tim Tebow,
Tim Tebow, no.
right?
I refuse. I refuse. Because it's Tim Tebow. Are you really a big Tim Tebow fan?
Yeah. Well, no, but like way back.
Yeah, but Tim Tebow is
Yeah,
like a
like-
whole person.
Yeah.
What do you got, Nathan?
Wait, so does this say that the only way to achieve your full potential is to help someone else achieve their
Yeah, it's like you're helping and guiding and helping other people. Like be better people.
So what's,
No, sport, like, just because you're good on a football field doesn't mean you're a good person.
but doesn't,
Did you not hear what happened at Ohio State this week? They are not good people.
But doesn't that mean that you yourself would have to achieve
Yeah,
your full
self-actualization.
potential? But
Bill
before
Cosby,
you
the guy who
can help
helps
someone.
someone.
Yeah.
Like Dr. Flint.
So then,
But while you're on that process, it's not all about you, Nathan. So that's why, that's like the part of the self-actualization you're on. 3,
Oh my god.
2,
There's not a
1.
Stop.
Yeah, no, Bill Cosby's not
No,
one.
okay.
Like,
Let's not get it.
there's like 54 like sexual assault and rape cases against him.
The guy who like helps people. Bill Cosby.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
How about like Gordon Ramsay who like helps
Gordon
people?
Ramsay is a terrible human being.
I love it.
I love him, but he's a terrible
No,
human
but
being.
like you know when he goes into the restaurants like helps people. What's it called?
Monica from Cheers.
Kitchen Nightmare or something like that. Restaurant Nightmare.
Yeah. Hi, we're moving forward. All right, peak experiences. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just being completely frank with you, and I'm telling you, I have not achieved self-actualization. I'm nowhere close. I'm going to show you where I am on the chart here in a few minutes, like nowhere close. You're probably, 99% of us are not going to achieve self-actualization. We're just not. We're not going to put in the time. We're not going to put in the effort, and it probably isn't important enough for you to achieve, so you probably won't. But if it does matter, then you can work towards it, and you can have it. With that being said, every single person in this room will experience peak experiences. Peak experiences, the average person has between 5 to 7 in their life. Some people have more, some people have less. A peak experience is when everything in the world like slows down for a second and there's like this hum. And you are like, I am in the right spot at the right time. Everything in my life has come together for this moment. I think I've had maybe 3 in my life so far. That's it. When I met McCray? No. That was not a peak experience. I did make a comment that he was pretty damn cute. If we have a kid, we're definitely naming him Elizabeth, because my favorite heroine is, of course, Elizabeth Bennet from Pride and Prejudice. I told my best friend that. So when I told her we were having a boy, and she was like, ah, shit. Name him Elizabeth anyway. I was like, that's perfect. Anyway. Someone asked me earlier, was my wedding day a peak experience? No! No, it wasn't. My wedding day was bomb. We had a great time. I threw a hell of a party. However, it was not a peak experience because A, that shit's stressful. B, that shit's expensive. And C, I don't want my best day of my life to be when I was 26 years old. Do you know how much life I have ahead of me? Hell no. It was not a peak experience. However, on our honeymoon, we did have a peak experience where we were riding around on our little... McCray wanted to do, you know the stupid little mopeds? We almost died on our damn honeymoon in Hawaii. And we wanted to do mopeds, and we ended up pulling on the side, and we just ended up like finding this like super cheap food stall, and we ordered tacos and like a beer, and we just sat there with the most incredible view of the Pacific. And for some reason, that's like the most perfect memory I have of our honeymoon. Eating cheap tacos with shitty Hawaiian beer on the side of a road after we almost died driving these stupid mopeds, and it was perfect. That's a peak experience where everything in the world just stops for a second and you're like, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be at this exact moment. Your probably first peak experience is probably going to be at your high school graduation on that day. Not because you're like, oh my God, I'm going to miss Planet High School, like none of that shit. But the fact that your childhood is over. And you're going to sit there in that ceremony and I hope think like, oh my God. Like, my life is totally changed, and it's going to be, like, a surreal thing. Not that you're like, oh, my God, I can't believe I'm done with high school. Like, that's not it. It's that your childhood ends at your high school graduation. That bullshit that you are doing now, done. You now have to be a grown-up once you graduate. And that hopefully should be, like, a surreal moment. What do you got?
So, why is a peak experience, like, when everything is perfect and not, like...
It's not perfect. We almost died on a moped, girl, and we were eating like cheap, terrible beer and tacos.
What I mean is, like, why isn't it when you're like helping other people?
It can be. It can be.
Because like the thing is in the definition, it's like when self-actualization is like reached.
It's when you feel like you have everything going for you at the exact same time. Everything in your life has led you to that specific moment, and everything in your world is right. Huh? Oh, that was not a peak experience.
How'd you find out? But like for other people, maybe.
My parents, it was a peak experience. My parents were just so damn happy. McCray and I literally were like, holy shit. I told McCray, I was like, McCray, go look in the sink. And he's like, snakes?
Snakes.
Because like when he like I like turned like white and McCray was like, oh my God, what's wrong? And I was like, look in the bathroom, and he's like, snakes? Like he thought there was a snake in the bathroom. What an idiot. Honestly, there's a little more to that story, but it was the funniest thing. Moving forward. It was not a peak experience. That was straight up horror. What do you got? And then we went to a 1-year-old birthday party less than an hour after we found out we were pregnant. Do you know what's a real nightmare? Finding out you're pregnant and not thinking like you'd ever be pregnant and then go to a 1-year-old birthday party.
Oh, yeah.
McCray and I were just sitting there and like just sweating. Like we're so uncomfortable. Like, oh my God, this is a nightmare. Sadie?
One of them saved the kid as a lifeguard.
That was more sheer terror. That was more sheer terror. Like, I didn't feel like I was in the right place at the right time. I didn't feel like my life had come to that moment, like a peak moment of my life. Sitting in that place with the most beautiful view of the Pacific Ocean at Honolulu Bay, which is on the Big Island. Being with McCrae, tacos, beer, ocean. That was pretty damn great. You know what I mean? So that would be a peak experience. At my high school graduation, I had a peak experience where you just sit there and be like, holy shit, my childhood's over. Now I'm like completely independent, thank God, and stuff like that. And that realization came about. And then I've had one other one, but what do you got?
Can peak experience vary from person to person, like how it affects them, or like?
By the way, hold on 2 seconds. Yes, I'm going to answer. If you look at physical needs at the very bottom of your study guide, that's it. So this is the pyramid. We're just going to start at the bottom of the pyramid and work your way up. So the bottom of your study guide, that's what you're filling out.
Not how it affects them, but how it's triggered in everybody. Can't that be completely different?
A little bit, but it's still that whole surrounding of like everything in your life has led to this.
But like on one hand, I don't think that high school graduation would be something because I don't really care about graduating from high school. Like,
But you haven't gotten there yet.
But I understand that I'm going to become an adult and all of that. But it's like the difference is if like where you were in, you saved a life. That's kind of wouldn't that just be a peak experience because you literally saved someone else's life? You saved all the potential they had.
But you have, so I would love to hear how you feel after your high school graduation. Because do you think I was an enthusiastic high school student? No, I was the resentful kid sitting in the back who always had a running commentary of shitty things to say. That's pretty much me. And so I'd like to see you after your graduation. Because it's a whole thing. Your parents have set you up to get to that moment. Like, that is the minimum requirement your parents have always had for you, that you will graduate high school. And that whole thing, it's like your first major accomplishment really in life. Is that, which is why it's kind of a big deal, which is why most people are like, holy shit, like, oh my God. Not that you like are gonna miss it or anything like that, but it's like your first real accomplishment of your life. Can we agree?
And that when your graduation be a peak experience for your parents.
For sure, absolutely.
They like it. They did.
For sure. For my sister, my youngest sister, my parents were my sister's college graduation was a peak experience for my parents because all 3 of their children graduated from college. And, like, I don't know a ton of people whose all of their kids have graduated. And my parents don't know a ton of people who all of their kids have graduated. So for my parents, they were really proud of that fact. And they were really proud of the fact that they instilled that much love of education into their kids to do it. So that's, like, a peak experience for them. So, I mean, it does vary between person to person. But I'm interested to see how your high school graduation goes already. Because it's just kind of like a surreal moment. Like, this is over. And, like, super regimented education, it's the last time it'll happen. And I'm so tired of this. Go away, people. Go get your Valentine's Day on. I know, how disgusting. Enjoy your chocolate, candies, roses, or sad movies. Whatever you got planned. Or working. Make that money, girl.
Yep. Me too.
You working at Woody's now?
Yeah.